Alright guys, welcome back. This is Survival Living. I've got my brother with me today. He's going to go over a couple of his bang bang arms. Let's put it that way. So these are a selection that he picked out. I wanted to show y'all. Maybe he'll be able to explain why he chose these particular arms over others. And basically I'm going to be stepping out and he's going to have full rule of the video since I can't be around these things. So, you ready?
Sure, why not?
Alright.
Alrighty. Well, typically when I look at firearms for home defense, you have different types of home defense you have to be aware of. Of course, most of the information my brother covers is for crap hits the fan. I'm not sure what all you can say on this thing, but that is probably the worst that can happen. But that's not the worst stuff that can happen, because you got to worry about the midnight prowler coming around, breaking in, doing your family harm. So the first set of firearms I'm going to be explaining why I've chose them, and just kind of going over some of the basic functions, which I'm sure most people are aware of, is just for your basic home defense. So one of the first handguns I bought was a .357 Magnum. This is made by Taurus. Now, a lot of people don't like old wheel guns. They say that they're not, don't have a high enough capacity. Well, you can get your larger frames. For instance, this one here, I don't know if you can see that, it is an 8-round revolver. So you have 8 rounds. This is a double single action. For those of you who don't know what that is, single action is where you have to manually pull the hammer back in order to fire. Double action is where you can just squeeze the trigger back, as you can see. I'm not going to actually let that hit the firing pin. I like Taurus. There's, hit and miss on people who prefer certain things, Glocks and things like that. Taurus, as far as just a mid-grade gun, is probably one of the best I've found as far as price range and actually being a reliable gun. They're made in Brazil. On your front sight, get that close enough, turn to the side here. Your target light actually gathers light, so when you're out shooting at the range, you can actually see your front sight a little better. You have your traditional up, down, left, right on your rear sight. As you can see on this, there's your 8-round revolver. It's pretty decent size. I mean, it's no hand cannon. You still want to be able to, in my opinion, have something that you can carry conceal if you need to, though it is kind of heavy for a concealed carry gun. Alright, so this next gun, this is actually my favorite handgun that I have. I have three. I have the .357 Magnum. I didn't bring the .44 out today. It's just a cattleman revolver. This one here is a 1911 45 ACP built by Rock Island Armory. Now, if you read reviews on this particular gun, they're kind of mixed. Some people don't like them. They say they jam all the time. If you actually look at what the manufacturer suggests for this gun, you should not be shooting anything below 230 grain. If you do, you're going to deal with a lot of jam ups in it. This is actually built in the Philippines on the same presses that the 1911s in World War II were made on. It's by the exact same company, the exact same presses. There's been names changed. They're no longer, Colt makes these, but this is not actually Colt. They were bought out by Rock Island Armories. This takes a 45 automatic Colt round. For those of you who do not realize, there actually are 45 long Colt 911s out there. This is not one of those. 45 long Colt is a round that was designed originally for the lever action repeaters and things like that. They had 30-30s, they had 45s, they had a lot of different chambers in those, or calibers for them. This here gun, I changed out the grips. I wasn't real happy with the grips that originally came on it, so I switched to just some basic Colt grips. And they're pretty nice. Kind of give you a little rundown overview. I do not have a magazine in it. I check, make sure all my guns are unloaded. So there's nothing in the chamber, as you can see. But always, firearm safety, even if you're showing stuff or if you're just in your house cleaning your gun, you need to check and make sure that you have this stuff empty, because most of the time people that get shot shoot themselves because they haven't looked down the chamber and they're playing around trying to quick draw in front of a mirror or something stupid like that. So, but it's just your basic 45. There's nothing, no frills and chills to it, but it's a very dependable handgun. Now you see this here does have the trigger mechanism on the back. If you try to shoot this, just shoot it, it will not. It doesn't have an external safety as far as, you know, you push safe on or off. This back here is your safety. So in order to release that, you have to trip that back just a hair and ease your hammer down. But that is your safety mechanism on the 45 ACP. Okay, so this Mohawk 48 12 gauge, it is chambered in a maximum 2 3/4. They do make them up to 3 1/2. Me personally, I don't care about shooting a 3 1/2 inch round. I just really don't. 2 3/4 is about as big as I want to get at my age. You start to feel it in the shoulders a little bit. But this particular one was actually used in the Korean War. Now, a lot of guys, they chopped the barrels and had them modified where they were shorter trench guns. This one was actually unmodified. This one here is, you know, I don't really have like a gun collection where I'm going to put stuff up and never touch it. I love to shoot this thing. It's great to just go out if you're going out to get you some squirrel or a ground squirrel, depending on where you're at. I use this one quite a bit in Wyoming. Try to keep the ground squirrels away from the RV. It's pretty effective in that. But I always suggest 12 gauge if you don't own a firearm of any kind. You're probably looking to get in a 12 gauge of some sort, whether it's a Mossberg or Remington or, you know, just whatever brand. You know, it's a very versatile gun. It's good for hunting, good for home defense. This here is the semi-automatic version. Chamber back. There is no rounds in it. To release your chamber on this and actually chamber your round in, you just press this button here. I don't know if you can see that. And you're locked and loaded. There is no rounds in this gun again. You know, there is no external trigger mechanism. If you do what I just did and cycle, you have to ease off. But make sure you don't have a round in there. We'd put a hole through the wall. This here is probably my favorite gun to shoot as far as, you know, any kind of a shotgun or long gun. But I've always been partial to 12 gauge. Alright, so this next one here, this is a Camo 22 Raptor. It's a velocity of 975 feet. This is a 22 caliber pellet gun. It's single breech. Put your round in there and you're ready to go. You have a safety mechanism. If you look at the bottom of the trigger here, safe, safety off. There's not much to this gun. I mean, it's just a pellet gun. You have this one here does not have open sights at all. It's supposed to have a whisper mode barrel, which isn't very quiet, I don't think. But I put a Pulsar Digisight on here. It's the 500A series. It's a few years old as far as, you know, technology wise. But it has kind of a CCTV cam built in. It's got the built-in IR light. Put this on here for, you know, just varmints and stuff like that. You can use it during the day or during the night. It actually self-adjusts. You can get the extended batteries or run off of a standard AA battery. I definitely suggest getting the extended battery. You can get 8 hours of continuous run on this scope with that. Whereas you're going to get maybe 40 minutes off of AA. So you're going to have to carry a lot of batteries in the woods unless you get one that will mount to the stock. I have one. Maybe in a later video I'll get it out. This scope here is actually going to be removed from this gun. Just put a traditional one on there. And this will be getting moved to one of the Armorlite platforms that I do have. We might do a review on that later. As far as just a gun, it's just your basic pellet rifle. There's no frills to it. Pretty simple to operate. But I suggest always having one because you might be in a situation where you don't want to give away your location if you're out to get a squirrel or something like that one day. You don't want to be out shooting a 12 gauge and everybody in the area know where you're at. So definitely suggest getting something like this.
Okay guys, there you go. Again, I want to thank my brother here for going over those arms for us. I'm sorry I have to watch what we say. This video here, not really sure how well the platform's going to accept it. As we all know, we've seen it on all the channels that we're subscribed to. We see people get hit all the time when they show these. I did notice something in my news feed that the platform was going to crack down on conspiracy channels. So, people of the truther movement, they're going to be getting hit. I don't know what the crackdown means. I don't know if they're going to be delisting them or removing their channel. I don't know yet. But that was in my Google feed yesterday morning. We knew it was coming, guys. So we try to watch how we say things and phrase things. I'm hoping to get my brother to let me use that thermal scope, and that way we can do a review on it with an actual review on it, so we can see the footage and stuff that it produces at night and everything. That's the one with the IR, right?
Correct.
All right, so that's even better than my I got a first generation monocular, but it's all I could afford it right now. Okay, now when it comes to night vision, IR, things like that, the IR is top of the line. I mean, the clarity's amazing in it, but it's a lot more pricey. What'd you pay for that thing?
I bought it used on Amazon. I think it was around $300 at the time. So
$300
used, but refurbished through the company.
Okay, so, kind of like what I did with my my night vision was a refurbished job, and I got it for $91, I think it was. Yeah. So that's actually a very good buy. I will put a link in there if the link is still available for that particular thing, so you guys can check it out. But we will be trying to get a review on that. Hopefully, let me use the scope. This is probably going to get edited out. Anyway, guys, y'all take care. Again, I want to thank my brother for coming out here and showing us that. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to y'all later.